Hello, this is Sandra Ferrari with Real Estate Investing. Welcome back to my channel. How excited it is to be back with you once more because we have a lot of work to do. We have to finish the 9 steps that are involved with due diligence. So let's just dive in and build wealth together. So basically, what is due diligence? If you recall in the last 2 videos, we spoke about the power, due diligence, the steps that are involved when one is engaged in doing due diligence to ensure that they make the best decisions, right? In order to reduce risk and to actually negotiate better terms. That is it in a nutshell. That is what due diligence is to make informed decisions. You are not just purchasing a property without having done all the work that is necessary to, and in so doing you will reduce your risk in buying a property that you were not ready to purchase or should not have been purchased in the first place. And also, by knowing all the facts about the property in the area, you can actually negotiate better terms so you could come up the winner in this deal, right? So let's just dive in. Well, we did speak about 6 other steps, and today we are going to complete the last 3 steps, pointers, or tips, whatever you want to call it, in order to learn what due diligence is about, of having an exit strategy. What is an exit strategy? Basically, what that is when you purchase a property, you need to know why you're buying this property. As I mentioned over and over myself, the goal, the purpose of my buying a property was to hold it for a certain amount of time so that I could derive rental income from it. So if this is what you're going to do, what we call in real estate buy and hold, you need to know, even if this is what you want to do you want to have this property for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, and so on and so forth? So that is highly relevant, because if you've done your due diligence and you realize that you in what's called a cycle, there's a time that the area is booming, a lot of people are moving in, and you may come into a cycle, so to speak, when people are moving out, but there's gonna be a phase. So all of this is part of your due diligence. If you have done so and you've learned, you may know that I am buying this property, I will hold it perhaps for 5 to 7 years, or perhaps 3 to 5 years. And that is my goal. And what do I intend to do with it? Am I gonna sell it, hold on to it after that, or pass it on to a family member? Because there's a lot you can do. Or even if you're gonna sell it to the renter that's renting the property. So all of those factors are relevant to know prior to even signing the forms that will close the deal. So remember, exit strategy is very important. You must know what you're gonna do with the property, how long you're gonna hold it for, and so on and so forth. So that is what exit strategy is. And a lot of people have also said, and I do realize that it isn't, you make your money when you purchase that property. So if you don't know it, what you're going to do with it, I would say think again. Look at your options, ask for help, ask for direction before you become involved, because this could make or break you. And I want you to succeed. That's why I am here. Right? Then another part I wanted to cover, another tip, another pointer that I wanted to speak about today is property management. Yes, property management are very helpful, especially when you purchase a piece of property that is not close to you, that is far away. It could be a state away. It could be that you live in Connecticut and you buy a property in New Jersey, or you vice versa. In New Jersey, you buy a property in Massachusetts. But don't get me wrong, it is still another job that you have, because you're going to have to manage this asset, right? It's yours. But property management, prior to hiring one, it is best to at least speak to several property management, maybe two or three. I would advise you prior to purchasing a property and prior to hiring them. Ask them questions. If something's not clear, have them define what they're asking, because most of them are pretty much the same, but some may be better than others. And I've learned that. Because when we purchased our first property, my sister and I, we were in the Midwest, hired a managing company. Come to find out, there was only one person primarily doing all the job. The gentleman was telling us he couldn't cover all this. I should have learned that. That was my ignorance, my lack of questioning this person prior to hiring him, because he didn't have a company. That was almost practically, he had a guy working for him. No, I need more hands-on. If my tenant is not paying, I want you to be able to visit and find out what's going on. And he couldn't because he had so many properties to look after. And if just so happened I only had one property with him, maybe I wasn't being taken care of as I deserve, or my property wasn't being looked after as it deserves. So all of those are relevant. There are companies and there are companies, right? You know what I mean? And find out what their fees are, because this will impact your income. That's the whole point. Are they going to collect on your behalf? Are they going to answer the tenant if there's an issue with the property? Maintain your property, or you want to retain a tenant, basically a customer, you have to serve them. And service means that the management company will answer if they have an issue that have arisen and they need to be taken care of right away. And quite frankly, I do not want to receive a phone call to tell me what's wrong with the property in the middle of the night. That is why I hire a property management. Know their fees. Most of them will have you sign a contract, read the contract. Company that I have actually engaged, one property management company that I have engaged, a couple, actually not one, actually to look after 4 of my properties. What they told me was, oh, you know something? We would like, in the contract, after reading it, it states that they have the right to sell the property on my behalf if I wanted to sell it, meaning they were the first online. I was like, wait, what does that mean? We sat down and they explained what they mean. So there, sometimes you will encounter different types of little clauses in the contract between them. So read that. It is imperative that you do that, right? To protect yourself. And the last one I would talk about is insurance. You must insure your property because you don't live there. You have a tenant they paying, and God forbid if you have a tenant that have many children, the children are all the time playing in the toilet or using certain items in the house that breaks down, you need to have this house covered. And I always say protect yourself. It's a safety reason and also for the tenant. Because if something happens, you need to have insurance to cover it. You don't want to take part of your income, that rental income that you're counting on to fix a major appliance, or to purchase a major appliance or to fix the roof. And often enough, those are quite expensive to fix the roof, or God forbid it's the winter and you find out the heater is not working. There are certain things that can be covered. So read your contract also with the insurance company that you will be hiring and find out what is covered and what's not covered. Because it's never fails, always never fails. It's when something's not working, it's very expensive and you need to fix it. And you have to take not only your rental income, but as well as your own money. That is really hard. That is why due diligence is very important. If you recall, we are going to treat this as a business. Due diligence is to make informed decisions, reduce your risk, and to negotiate better terms. If you follow through with all the 9 steps that I have mentioned, in part one, part two, and part three today, you will realize that all those steps are eminent in purchasing a property. And that is the point, after all, to be successful. So, if you are appreciating what you're seeing and what you are hearing, press the like button, subscribe, and share it. Just go do your due diligence and let's get onto this because I cannot wait for you to get your first property. I want you to succeed. I know you will. See you at the next video. Bye bye.